Hey, so it's Saturday the 13th, and I just want to clarify that I don't know how said that L'amour is in Switzerland. It's in Sweden, okay? And I think it is worth clarifying. That happens. Years ago, I was talking about the band Man. I called them an English band. I had some folks get a hold of me losing their minds saying, the band's from Wales, what are you doing? Pardon these. I need to remember to bring the nice glasses out so you can see me in them. But L'Amour is a Swedish label based out of Sweden. And I've heard from the label already, and I've already heard from Clayson. Clayson's the guy who did this record. I'll go ahead and talk it up again. I listened to it again yesterday. I really like this. Yeah, this is the kind of thing I like. It is. And so I just wanted, yeah, it's a Swedish label, okay? Been busy, but the last few things on my turntable. Carlton Hester and his contemporary jazz art movement. This sounds like music made by a musician and student musicians. I haven't looked closely here. This is jazz with a classical aspect to it. The rhythm section is not very experienced, is what I'm saying to my ears. The drums get the job done. But yeah, so this is interesting. Listen to most of it, and there's parts of it where the composition is really talking to me. Then there's other parts where the ensemble is really struggling to get to realize these pieces, and I can hear it. So this is kind of an interesting piece that I pulled, hadn't listened to in a long time. Totally satisfying. Dave Holland's quintet with Steve Coleman, Steve Ellington, Julian Priester on trombone, and the amazing Kenny Wheeler on trumpet. Had the great pleasure of meeting Dave Holland many, many years ago when he came to Omaha playing with Herbie Hancock, and we had a nice conversation. But the man, as you know, is a consummate bass player. He's played with everyone. Has so much depth of character in what he plays and how he listens to, responds, and supports the musicians he plays with. Dave Holland is one of the finest bass players to have ever lived, in my opinion, along with Ron Carter and Scott LaFaro and Charles Mingus. This guy, Dave Holland, is an amazing musician. Pulled this, and Anita gave this to me. If you watch this, Anita, thank you so much. English band from the 70s, Cressida Asylum. Original copies of this on Vertigo are very collectible. This is a reissue on Akarma. This band was a mixture of progressive rock, English rock, and slightly jazzy influences. The melodic movement of some of these songs I only hear from this band, which I think says a lot. A couple of their songs, I can't think of the titles right now to say, but there's a couple things they do that really stand out in my mind, and it's like I wish someone else had kept moving in this direction. Anita, if you see this, thank you so much for sending this to me. Played some more jazz last night. Michael Howell, guitarist, In the Silence. Another one where Benny Maupin is on the date on saxophones and bass clarinet. I love their playing. Benny Maupin and Julian Priester came to my attention playing in Herbie Hancock's Mwandishi band. Fantastic musicians. This is really nice. Understated. What I mean by that is it's like some jazz is about the fire, building up the fire, This is really laid back. Really nice. Played some Genesis. I love Genesis always. And the B-side track, Inside and Out. I just love that. This is Canadian pressing that came out back in the 80s, blue vinyl. This has been reissued a bunch of times, thanks to Record Store Day, so now you can find it for nothing. And if you do, I recommend it. Genesis were a great pop band. We're all getting so old now that we might not ever see Genesis play together again. I hope we do, but we're getting old, people. That clock is ticking. Mark Johnson, Bass Desires. You guys know this album, right? With John Scofield and Bill Frisell. Good Lord, this is good. This is one of those dates where everything lined up. The cover is perfect. The sun is shining. There is something really, really, really good about this particular album. This is a real standout. This is fantastic music. There's an essence. You put it on and the energy in the room goes up. I'm telling you, get it. Played this recently. Sid Arthur, love these guys, from England, Canterbury band. Progressive and also kind of bluesy. Mine is autographed. I've met these guys 2 times now. Great people. From Belgium, Oxic Mabul, un peu de lame de bandit. Not sure what it means. Not sure what the illustration on the cover means. I've always thought it was very humorous that we have a nude couple and the lady is covering the dog's eyes because the man has an erection. Now what I like, I think that's an appropriate cover for this music because this music is very human, very naked, very eclectic, very alive with invention and life. Oxic Mabul, led by Mark Hollander. There's a direct connection to Fred Frith and Henry Cow and those people. Fantastic album. An earlier album of his, which I have, it doesn't sound much like that one. And is it still out? To show you. Un peu l'homme de bandit. Yeah. There's another earlier album of Oxic Mabul, and it's spelled differently, led by Mark Hollander. But I highly recommend this stuff. I highly recommend this. Okay, that's a quick one for Saturday. Main thing I wanted to say was that, yeah, L'Amour is out of Sweden. My bad. Also, I just got some orders from Sweden. Wow. Thank you. Orders for Dereck 2 on CD and Dereck Nice on vinyl. Thank you, folks, for the orders. And I'll tell you now that the Nice, I'm now at the point where I better go count how many I have left. I thought I'd have them forever. Apparently not.